I thought I knew what I was doing with my life, but this month starts my journey of starting over at age 45. The last 4 years have come with a lot of losses. I am now helping my parents as they age, and I'm living with them. I also just shut down a business that I've been running for the past 14 years, and there have been a lot of adjustments. I am definitely at a whole new place in my life, and I've decided to document this journey, both the successes and the struggles. I'm also going to be sharing a test that I took that helps you figure out your strengths and your weaknesses for determining what career path you should take. So I don't know what's next, but if you're interested in following along and finding out and being as surprised as I am, then hit the subscribe button and let's get started. Backstory on me. I ran a brick and mortar boutique for 13 plus years. We grew and expanded, made it through 2020 great. We had a great following of customers, and by God's grace, we survived. We celebrated 10 years at a larger location, and then things changed. There was a lot of safety issues, a lot of crime, and just things that were outside of my control. I really tried to make the city aware, and they tried, but it was a little too late, and a lot of my customers just did not feel safe coming to shop any longer, and I ended up having to shut my doors. While there were a lot of losses that came with that, the community, the people, my staff, it also felt like it was the right thing to do. Now, in my head, I thought, well, maybe God's just leading me somewhere else to a new location. That was definitely not what God had planned for me. Things became harder, things changed. I might share that story at another point for those who are in business and would like to know that. I kept the Classic Farmhouse going for about a year online, just running online sales, live sales, and running a website that way. When I lost the opportunity to do the live selling portion of it, and it felt like I'd have to rebuild from scratch, I just did not have the energy to do it. And after doing that for a year and not finding a new location, I just really felt like God was saying, it was time to let it go. So I closed the doors completely, shut it down, dissolved it just as of 2 or 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago actually now, and I feel like it was the right thing to do. So as sad as I am to close that chapter of my life, I did it for a good long time. We had a great run, and I had a very successful business for over a decade, which not a lot of people can say that, and I'm very thankful for that. Done a lot of prayer and soul searching and just seeking God in this season and resting and trying not to push it, because I am the type that likes to push it and I want an answer and I want it now. I've just never been in a place where it didn't seem like there was a clear open door for moving forward. Normally I would, leave one job and move to another, or I would be working somewhere and another opportunity would arise, where this one just feels like a complete closed door and with no clear direction. So that is a struggle for me and definitely a lesson in faith moving forward. Now, many people have asked, well, what do you want to do next? And that was a very hard question for me to answer, because what I was doing is what I loved doing, but that was clearly not an option for me anymore. My mom also has some health issues, and I have been caring for her more and helping my dad, who is semi-retired but still works some. And I've been helping him care for the house, which I am living with them. So that makes it easier, but it also makes it hard for me to go back and get some 9-to-5 job. There was also some other family issues that I was dealing with during these past few years that caused a lot of grief. I lost touch with some family members that were very close to me, and that is something that I'm also trying to navigate and move past. I've also not been taking care of myself as well as I should, and I've let my health slip, so that is another thing that I want to really refocus on. I really feel like I am at ground level of my life again and trying to figure out what is next, almost as if I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life at age 45. So through this process, I was reminded of a book that I had read when I was a teenager, and then I think I redid it in the 20s, and it is a test that determines your strengths as well as your weaknesses and how they can be applied in your life, whether it be for a profession or if it's maybe for college. But I found it to be super helpful in the past, and I thought I would revisit it and see where I was at now. So the book is called Discovering Your God-Given Gifts by Katy and Dawn Fortune, which you can see here. I will also put a link in the description below. It is a faith-based test, but there are versions of it that are not. So either way, it's a great tool. It is a great test for figuring out your skills, both strengths and weaknesses. So they narrow it down by 7 giftings that you might have. They are perceiver, server, teacher, exhorter, giver, administrator, and compassion. So you will go through a series of questions and you'll rank them by how relatable they are to you in your life. And then you will add them up, tally them up at the end, and then it will give you a score. So for instance, mine, teacher, the 100 is the highest score you can get. And I scored 100 as a teacher, which was not what I scored before. That is definitely something that's changed in my life. Which, side note, I found it very interesting how different my score was from years previous. Perceiver was my second at 90, and then my third was administrator at 84. So what's cool about it is you can go through and then you can go, it will go chapter by chapter and describe these gifts and what they are and why they're important in your life, which is really helpful just in living, like in life, and just kind of getting to know yourself. But then at the back of the book, it goes through all of the jobs that you might be qualified for or that might suit your interests and your strengths. So mine, for instance, were market research analyst, minister or theologian, which I'm not. Actually, I've been a minister, but not a theologian. Reporter, writer, and journalist, or a school administrator, which is interesting to me, but I guess that's that teaching aspect, that teaching gift. What I found interesting about this is some of the things that I was looking into that I found intriguing, or things that I thought might be interesting based on my knowledge and skill set from previous jobs. I would like to start a blog perhaps, so that really ties into that whole writing and journalistic type thing, so that might be part of that. And I also love being on YouTube or doing video, which really surprised me. That is something I picked up when I was doing the live selling that I felt like I just really enjoyed, which I did pursue late or end of last year, early this year, but with the whole closure of the business, I did have to set that aside. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be pursuing and working on as well. So that was interesting to me because that kind of ties into that whole journalist, writer, reporter type thing. And then as far as the minister and theologian, I've done that in the past, and I have considered using my platform more for ministry, but that is maybe something in the future. One of the other jobs that it said I was qualified for was teaching in an area of my own expertise. So that would be, for me, maybe the business side of things, which I have considered doing a course or an ebook related to that as well. So all of those things tied in, which is so weird to me that those strengths and weaknesses, not even knowing that before I took the test, that those were the things that kind of piqued my interest and that I have actually wanted to pursue for a while, but haven't had the time while running my brick and mortar. So anyway, that's long story short, go take the test. I find it extremely helpful, especially for, I would even say for a student that's trying to figure out what career they might want to go into or whether or not they should go to college. Maybe you're at a place in life like I am where you're midlife and you're going, I don't know what to do next. Or you're trying to figure out if a job really suits you. Like, is this something that I would be good at? So go take it. Again, link in the description below. Anyway, I don't know if any of this is relatable to you, but it is. I'd love to hear where you're at in the comments below. Maybe start a discussion about what's going on in your life. Or if you're just curious about starting over and what that looks like, I'm going to be very open and honest about where I'm at in this journey and post regularly behind the scenes, as well as the stuff that's going on in my life. This has been quite a struggle, not knowing what the future holds. I do know who holds my future, but I don't know what the future holds, and that's very scary. This world is really in a lot of turmoil right now. So I'm choosing to walk every day by faith, just getting up every morning, giving it to the Lord, and being diligent about planning my days out and my weeks out with a purpose. As much loss as I've experienced over the last few years, I have had to really break down my life into smaller segments and not overwhelm myself. So I can definitely look at things in the big picture and seem like it's just too much to tackle and not even want to wake up in the morning. Like, it's just not worth getting up because I can't get ahead. And I've been there, I get it. It can be hard. You definitely, to be self-motivated when you feel like nothing good is happening is extremely difficult. But that's definitely where my faith has come in, knowing that God has a purpose for me. He has a plan and a hope and a future. And I am just choosing to walk by faith day by day, and not trying to think too far into the future. So today I'm posting on YouTube. Today I'm creating a website. Today I'm standing firm and waking up with hope and knowing that things will be fine. So if you're at a place where I am, I would encourage you to just not overwhelm yourself with too many days ahead. I have been in a very, very dark place. I have been in a very sad and grieving place. Am I past it? No. Am I 100% no? But am I better than I was a week ago? Yes. Am I better than I was a month ago or a year ago? Absolutely. So just take it a day at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with the anxiety of trying to be so far ahead, because I would tend to push it and want to be whole and healthy and 100% healed, and sometimes it just takes time. And I would just encourage you to rest in that, to open up the Psalms, just read the word. It is soul healing and heart healing. Turn on some good music, some encouraging music, and just sit there with it. So don't push yourself too hard. Take baby steps, and tomorrow's a new day. I wish you all well, and I hope that you found some inspiration in this, maybe to move forward or to just trust that it's going to be okay. I'm getting emotional. Well, now that I've cried, I'm clearly still working through things. So if you want to follow along and see how the journey goes and how I grow, both through struggles and successes, I will share both. I will be vulnerable, and hopefully you get some encouragement or inspiration from it. So hang on, friends. There is light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. Until next time.